In today's episode, you're going to get to see an incredible rat rod. Hello everybody, welcome to Classic Car ChitChat. My name is Kevin. If this is the first time you're coming to my channel, then welcome. I really appreciate you being here. If you've been to my channel before, then as always, thank you so much for the comments that you leave for me, for the thumbs up that you show, for subscribing to my channel, and also for hitting that notification bell so you know when the next video is available. Today you're going to get to see an incredible vehicle. It is a 1938 Chevy Rat Rod. Okay, it's a combination rat rod and a hot rod. It was a father and son project that Carlos did with his young son. It's got parts from a 1980 Toyota in it, as well as a 1986 Buick. The paint is just spectacular. It's actually rust, but you've got to see it to believe it, and it's an absolutely incredible truck. And it certainly gets the attention of everybody whenever this vehicle drives up. So without further ado, let's hop in, let's go for a drive, and let's check out this incredible vehicle. Carlos, before you turn it off, let me listen to the engine. Give it a little bit of a rev. Actually, where is the exhaust pipe?
It's on this side here.
Okay, let me go around.
That's what I was wondering.
Oh, right here. Wow, I can feel it. All right. Come on out.
Gotta let it idle down a little bit because it's fuel injected.
What's that?
I gotta let it idle down a little bit because it's fuel
No worries.
injected.
Whenever you're ready, turn it off
Yeah.
and then hop out, okay? Carlos, you know what? First time I saw this truck, I was just mesmerized. Tell me what it is.
Well, it's a 1938 Chevy on a 1980 Toyota T100 platform.
No.
Yeah, it's all Toyota underneath. It was supposed to be a low budget rat rod slash hot rod. The motor I chose, it's out of a 1986 Buick Regal, 3.8 liter with a small 45 mil turbo, running at about 10 pounds of boost. The interior is just, again, we try to keep it. My son and I actually, this has been a project for my son and I in the last 13 years. It's had its ups and downs, changes. But it was built for us to drive around, to enjoy, to, take him to school in it and take it shopping if I had to. And it's been a great father and son bonding. Like he's 13 years old and big into classic cars. I have an older guy who's 28 years old, really couldn't care much about the cars. So it's one of those things where I'm trying to sort of pass it on. He's a big car guy now and loves his truck, claims it to be his. I'm just the driver, it's his truck.
Absolutely. I can't say I blame him if that was me too.
Yeah.
But everything about this truck is just incredible. What gave you the idea to give it that sort of rusted
Well, the
look?
patina, it was black for its first 8 years. It was all flat black. Unfortunately, I had to replace some of the panels. So they're new. Most of the truck, 80% of the truck's all original metal. The box is an aftermarket, so I couldn't continue the patina. So I painted all black for a couple of years, and then 3 years ago, I was looking at thinking I need to change things up again. Didn't want to spend a whole lot of money painting the truck, so my son and I took a grinder to it. Just grind it all down. What you see in that rust there, that's literally rust. We grind it down to bare metal.
It's real rust?
That's real rust.
No.
Yes. So the hood is clear coated. So if you feel it, you can feel the texture of the rust. So basically, where you see the brown, it's grinded to bare metal. You take peroxide, vinegar, and salt. You mix it all up. You apply it in a spray, and within seconds, it starts to rust. Now the hood, you can see it's a different color than the arm. The hood has been clear coated which I don't recommend doing in the rust because rust from inside out. Where the rest of the body, it's been T-coiled. So if you T-coil the rust, it actually seals the rust and prevents it from peeling.
You know what? I honestly thought, to now, until what you're telling me, that this was a car that you painted it to look like rust.
No.
Oh my God, that makes it even more special. I love what you've done with the license plate too, just like
yeah,
slightly.
try to, you know, again, it wants that rat rod vibe, but I'm not big into rat rods. I like the nice cruisers. So it's got that rat rod look, the hot rod look. It's sort of a combination between both.
It's something else though.
But for the most part, it's a great truck. I get tons of attention, tons of looks, and it's fun to drive.
Wow. And what about the actual wheels in that too?
So the wheels, I've got a couple different sets of wheels that I use just to change the looks up a little bit. These are 19-inch wheels, again, because it's a Toyota platform, it's a 5x114.
I'm still getting over the Toyota platform, but okay.
Yeah, you know, I went Toyota because Toyota runs the front sections on a torsion bar system. So it's one of the easiest cars to lower. This is static, this is not on airbags.
Oh.
So the back half, it's the Toyota rear end. 411 gears, still the leaf springs with a drop block. The front's on torsion bars. 2 years ago, I decided to get rid of the torsion bars and I went to a coilover in the front. Stiffened it up a little bit more on the ride, but it handles a lot better in corners at higher speeds. But I don't usually drive this too hard.
I'm just mesmerized by this thing. And what about the paneling at the back?
So the paneling is basically pine wood. I stained it with some black paint and sort of gave it that, you scuff it down just to get rid of some of the black, just to show some of the pine knots and stuff in it. It's a low budget, you know, something that my son and I went home, put together and just change it up. Every couple of years I change things around. Like I've got a different plan this year for the bed.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, so because this has been like this for about 3-4 years now. Outside of it, it's pretty much going to stay the way it is. I wasn't too keen on the rat rod look, but now I've got a lot of attention, and I kind of like it. It's sort of a little bit better than the all black.
Yes.
It sort of gives it a little bit of unique look.
What does that actually mean? You've said rat rod. I've heard the term.
So rat rod basically is a really low budget vehicle where you get a bucket full of parts and you make those parts function however you need it. A lot of rat rod interior guys, they don't have much of interior. It's all you know, some type of paneling, license plates, panels. It's one of those things. I mean, rat rods are not for everybody, but it's gaining a lot of popularity. But I like the rat rod look, but not the drivability of it. You know.
Right. So this drives better.
This drives a little bit better. You don't get smoke in your face. It's a little bit better.
What about the lights here? So these are LEDs.
So the lights are LEDs. Yeah, the headlights themselves are original. That's original 38s. I just changed the bulbs themselves, but LEDs. You know, it's got power brakes. It had power steering, but I went to a manual steering rack.
It doesn't have air conditioning, sure.
No, it doesn't have air conditioning. The air conditioning, it does have air conditioning. Back in 1938, this is what's called air conditioning. That was your air supply.
That was your air supply, yes. Wow, everything about this vehicle is just magnificent. Would the original pickup truck have sort of a visor on the outside?
Yes, they do. But they have specific. But because this is 1936 and 39, they're very hard to find the visors because they mount here. And originally, this window was a pop-up window, so there was a frame in the middle. Right. But I made it a one-sealed window, and I just made that one up actually. You made that. You manufactured this. So really custom made to meet your needs. I love the side mirrors. Motorcycle mirrors. Oh, is it? Yeah. Fantastic. The seat is out of a Chrysler minivan. Third row seat. You sure can. Chrysler minivan. Minivan, wow. Third row seat, so it actually folds down, folds up. Wow. Oh my God. It's all Bluetooth. Look is just amazing. It's such a clean look. And I never go anywhere without my friend. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's a rat. It is a rat. Priceless. And that's the shifter. That is the shifter, yes. Wow. Here, let me go around the other side to get a look at that thing properly. It's such a clean look inside as well, Carlos. Yeah, again, right. I was trying to keep it at a low budget, but yeah, keep it clean and simple.
And what about like the tartan interior and all that? Did you do that yourself?
No, I had a friend of mine stitch that up. That was an interior guy in Scarborough. A friend of mine had stitched it up for me. The panels I did myself. This is pretty easy. The seat themselves, he had to stitch the insert, and he made some seat covers for me. He made an insert for my door panels.
And the best part, custom cup holders.
That's it.
Look at that.
Gotta have your
coffee.
coffee.
Biggest complaint of all car lovers.
Gotta
right?
have
Like,
your
where do you put
coffee.
the coffee cup. Yeah. My Lord. That's just incredible. And the roof panel here?
The roof panel is out of a 1984 Jimmy or S10. It's a GM product, by the way.
Incredible.
I just can't remember a year. I went to the scrapyard and found something that had the same curvature, modified a little bit. It made it work.
Amazing.
Little storage.
You know what? The detail on this car is just incredible.
Thank you.
Even the gas pedal. Like, it is such a cool look to everything.
Thank you.
This
Thank
thing.
you.
Why the pickup truck though, Carlos? Was it something like as a kid, did you always want to do this?
You know, I'm actually in the business. I build classic cars for a living.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I've had my share of Camaros, Chevelles, Cutlass and stuff. And I do have older kids. And I found when you have nice cars with real nice paint jobs, you're really bound to sort of really trying to take care of the vehicle. You're always scared of having people around, kids around, scratching it. And I found with my older kids, I was always worried about the car. And I kind of felt if I ever had to do it again, I want to build something that I'm comfortable with my kids going in and out of the garage, having accidents, you know, occurring and not being able to. So Rat Rod started coming in, and you know, about 15 years ago, 10 years ago, they really started gaining popularity. And I started thinking, you know what, it's probably a way to go into. And I enjoy it because I'm not afraid to take it to a parking lot. I'm not afraid to take it to anywhere, and you know, so it just makes driving it that much nicer, not having to worry about it.
And it's more kind of inclusive in a way. Like for most of us, we say, you know, you can look at it but don't touch it.
Exactly.
This one you want to kind of encourage kids.
Exactly. And when I go to car shows, I encourage people to sit in. The little kids, they love it. So and it's priceless when you see the look on kids' face when they're sitting there just memorizing. I enjoy that personally.
Oh, fantastic. It's your little bit of giving back to the community.
That's definitely right, fantastic. Right. Yes.
Can you open the front?
Yes, I'll show you the turbo side. My special key.
Oh, really?
Well, it's
you paid extra for that one?
I paid a little extra for that because there is sides, but because I added the turbo, I had to eliminate the sides. But this is basically it's a 3.8 liter fuel injected with a FiTech aftermarket fuel injection system. MSD ignition, 45 mil turbo, built by RHB. Very reliable. Again, I'm only running 10 pounds of boost. It's not, I didn't build it to go fast. I built it to give it that cool factor.
Yes.
My kid loves to hear the blow off valve. Yeah. And it's just, you know, it's fun. It's fun.
That's amazing. It's just absolutely stunning. It's so clean as well. And where did you build this? In your shop, I'm assuming?
Actually, believe it or not, in my garage at home. The big part, mounting the body on the chassis, I did it at the shop.
Right.
But then I brought it home and did most of it, the rest of it actually at home.
So now you're talking about the blowout valve. So when you start her up, it's building up this pressure?
That's right. Well, this is your waste gauge. Your blow-off valve is over here. Off of that. So basically, the turbo works off of exhaust gases. I've got it set at 10 pounds of boost. So once it senses 10 pounds of boost, anything that's extra will come out there, and it will escape out the blow-off valve. So this is a waste gauge. So this waste gauge, if you hammer on full throttle, it's gonna take the 10 pounds of boost and put that into the engine. Anything that's outside of that will come out this exhaust here.
Got it.
So it sounds really rough. It's like two exhausts coming out.
Okay.
Yeah, but outside of that, if you just fiddle it, my son loves to hear the blow-off valve. It's just.
Well, you're gonna have to demonstrate that.
Yeah, I will demonstrate it for you. Definitely,
wow.
Definitely. I'll let you hear it.
Oh my God, it's absolutely fantastic, Carlos. It's one of the most unique vehicles. I've seen it twice now. One at the Malta show and again at the Streetsville BIA one. And it just takes my breath away every time I see
appreciate
this.
it. Thank you.
It
is again. It's and the reason why when I did see this truck actually came out of Texas, and it had a tree that grew out the back of the box. So the box is an aftermarket made in Taiwan box, unfortunately. But the rest, the cab, the fenders, the running boards, all original. But when I saw this picture of this truck, I had to have it. So in order to get this truck, the guy had to cut the tree down, literally take the box off, peel it off, and it came to me with literally just the cab, the fenders. Again, the frame was so rotted, we left the frame alone because I knew I was going to change the frame.
Yes.
But that's how it was born, and it was just that look. It just something captured me. Being a muscle car guy for most time, I never really considered myself in the truck until I saw that.
Right.
Once I saw this, it was something that I had to do.
It.
Yeah,
So make something out of this. Do you have an original picture with the tree in?
That I do, because it's been like 13 years ago. It probably would have been in my archives at the shop.
Okay.
I might have something,
If
but
you
I wish.
do,
I actually regret not saving that because
Okay.
it was one of those things that I never anticipated in keeping the truck. Usually, build it and then maybe flip it a couple of years.
Yeah.
But my son fell in love with it, and I fell in love with the fact that I was getting so much enjoyment out of it.
Yes, for sure.
People, I go to car shows and you don't see too many of these around.
Yeah,
so I started thinking, why would I buy a Camaro or Chevelle when I go there? There's like 10 or 20 of them around. I like to see something unique.
It's like a magnet. It truly is. You show up anywhere and everybody. My car's pretty. I mean, I'll be honest, but this is just spectacular.
Well, it's again, to each their own. Everybody has their likes and dislikes, right? For me, this for me just works in so many other aspects. Yeah. I just love driving it out, not being afraid, not having being afraid of somebody digging my door. That to me is just worth. It's just there's so much value in that.
So when you built everything up, how fast does it go?
It's been dynoed at 330 horsepower to the rear tire. I've never taken it to the track because it's one of those things where at the track, when you take a motor to its maximum, two things are going to happen. You're either going to go faster or you're going to break something. I've been in the business for so long, I'm tired of breaking motors.
Right.
So when I built this, I built it so it was more reliable. I'm not worried about going fast. I got my kid in here most of the time.
Sure.
So it wasn't built for fast, it was built for looks.
Yeah, looks and for cruising around and enjoying it and a comfortable ride.
Definitely.
That's amazing. Can you start the engine up? Can we
Sure can.
Hear it? That sounds so sweet,
So
Carlos.
it's quiet. Believe it or not, the turbo acts like a big muffler.
Okay.
Until it's actually pushed to its limits, that's when you can hear it. But outside of that, if it's idling, you couldn't tell this thing had a turbo in it.
Wow. That's just amazing. And the stopping power as well, you got four-wheel disc brakes, I see.
No, front disc brakes, rear drums.
Rear
Toyota
drums,
came with
okay.
rear drums. They work great, so you know what?
Left it.
Leave it good enough.
Wow. And in terms of keeping the thing cool as well, no problems?
No problem. It's got electric fan, aluminum radiator. I mean, I used to have issues with it. You're always going through so many changes, but right now, the last 4 years, I've had no problem. The aluminum radiator made a big difference.
Okay. That's just absolute beautiful machine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like it's art and engineering combined. That's the way I look at it. It is such a unique car. So now the pressure is building.
Well, right now, the pressure will build during idle. So when I give it throttle, it creates pressure, and depending how far I go with the throttle, it'll determine how much boost the motor's going to take. Right now, it's set at 10 pounds. Okay. So right now, it's just idling like your typical motor.
Yeah.
The turbo doesn't kick in until you actually start accelerating.
Got it. Well, in that case, don't you think we should go for a little ride?
I think we should go for a little ride.
Yes, all right. Oh, look at this. This is such a cool car.
It's
wow.
You wonder back in the 1930s how big you guys used to be. I want to say 5'8". I want to stretch it to 5'8",
yeah.
And I'm probably maxed out. Back in the 30s, if you were 6 feet tall, I don't know how you fit in here.
Like height-wise, you might be
Height-
okay, but where your legs
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go?
and this truck originally when I built it, it had a floor shift in here.
Yep.
But I found with the floor shift, it was just too tight. It was a little bit room, so I moved it over to a column shift.
Right.
What makes things a little
Space.
bit, yeah, more
So
sensible.
Talk me through your gauges first. So what do you have there?
So here I got your typical speedometer gauge. I got your RPM gauge. I've got your water temperature gauge, your oil pressure, got your fuel gauge. Over here I've got your boost and vacuum gauge.
Oh yes.
This here's my EFI fuel injected. It's my controller. It lets me know exactly what my fuel ratio is at all times, my temperature, my RPM. This is just a backup gauge for the AFR. So it keeps me track on how I accelerate and decelerate.
Oh my God. And these here?
That one, that is my voltage regulator. It keeps track of my voltage.
Okay.
This here is my push start. I do have a line lock system, so if I want to smoke some tires, I can hook up my line lock. This does have an overdrive, it's a 200R transmission.
Okay.
This here will allow me, if I'm on the highway, to get an extra gear.
All right.
Full throttle, and this is a backup switch for the fan if I'm ever in traffic. I have a secondary fan that I can
Just to keep
click
it
on
cool.
just to keep
That
it
is
cool.
such
Yeah.
a smart look.
Yeah.
I love the lights though on the switch too. I'd never seen that before. The way the lights come on, even there.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And no seat belts in this thing.
There is seat belts. I mounted seat belts, but they're underneath. I take them out. My son's in the car.
Right.
But originally back in 1930, they didn't have any seat
Yeah.
belts, right? So you're
Beautiful.
not mandatory to wear the seat belts. I do have a sound system in here. I have to have my music. I'm big in
For
music.
sure. Yes.
My subs are in the back. 6x9s underneath here. 4-inch of their tweeters up here.
Wow.
Very nice system. Really happy with it.
And where did you get the rat and the?
So there is a lot of car shows you go to in St. Catharines. There is a Rat Rod event that happens every year. Unfortunately, due to the COVID, it hasn't happened the last 2 years. That's where I got it.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
magnificent.
Yeah. Outside of that, got your typical, camera just in case incidents happen.
For sure. Yes.
Outside of that,
And I even love your rear view mirror there. So
Oh.
the original would not have been this shape.
no, it would
right?
not been that shape. No, a lot of things again is just added features. You must have it a rear view mirror, and then try to make it look so that it sort of kind of blends in a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
But even the touches, even around here, that
Yeah.
rusty look to it.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
basically, just a metal panel that I took out, cut all my gauges out, and created that rusty look just to bring some of the outside in.
Yeah. Oh, it just works perfectly. Okay.
Okay.
Let's
so
do it.
let's go
Yes.
for a little route.
Oh, she sounds so good, Carlos. See? Everybody's looking at the car. Shall we go right here?
Wish we can.
Let's do that. Oh!
So that's the sound that my son
Yes.
just goes to bed. Now,
Oh, I can see
you can
why.
understand, and it doesn't take much of acceleration. If I continue with the acceleration and the turbo, the boost would kick in,
Yeah.
you would hear another sound, which really, it's just a lot of the excess gases get coming away. If I just feather the gas pedal, just have the turbo spool up,
Right.
that's what you get. That's what my son loves to hear. And
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy it
And I
myself.
bet you do too, yeah.
Yes.
yeah. I'm listening to you saying, yeah, you're talking about your son, but truly, it's you who loves it too. And why not? It is amazing.
Thank you.
Totally amazing. And the brakes work real nice too.
Right. Again, it's like you're driving a Toyota.
Yes.
Did you want to do a go around Mavis and down, or?
We'll go down. We'll turn around onto Owen Mills.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, what's he doing? It's the other drivers you gotta watch.
Yes, always.
Ooh, that's such a lovely sound. And really good over the bumps too.
Not too bad, yeah. I have to soften up the front coil suspension. It's adjustable. It's a little stiff. I have to back it off a little bit, soften it up a little bit.
Right.
But our roads nowadays are terrible. It's really hard nowadays to find a nice road.
For sure. Oh, she's amazing. Woo!
So I'm going to give you a little example once we get on the air, how the waste gauge kicks in, and you'll hear the difference in the sound.
And of course, there's more construction here too.
Of course.
It never ends.
So if you notice that sound,
that is really,
I'm not a big fan of that sound, but what you can do two ways of exhausting that sound: back into the exhaust system,
right?
Or that's free aired.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's back into the atmosphere. It tends to the turbo run a little cooler.
Okay.
So it helps in that perspective. But I could gain a little bit more horsepower if it went back into the exhaust.
Right.
But again, it's one of those things, and I've got it set. Again, I got it set at 10 pounds of boost. If I crank it up, it makes a big difference on the acceleration.
Okay, I bet. What are the chances of seeing a Falcon? That's the thing.
When you're out on the road, you know.
Oh yes.
You never know what you run into.
For sure. That's beautiful too. I'm not sure if that's the same one that the Streetsville BIA. I thought that was a.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one around. I haven't seen that one on the shows.
Nice rims on that too.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of that sound though.
Yeah, I keep it. Basically, that's what it's doing for the most part.
That is a beautiful sound to it. I bet your son can't wait till he can start driving though. Oh, he's 13 right now, right?
He's 13, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, legally driving, I should say.
Legally
driving. Let's put it that way.
He has driven it,
right?
You know, in private property, a friend of mine.
Yes.
But yes, he is looking forward to getting his license.
I bet. Oh.
So I'm in the middle of finishing off. I'm building a 1930 Essex. I don't know if you're familiar with those. Yes. Originally a straight six vehicle, but I put a small block Chevy aluminum head, 400 horsepower engine, turbo 400. Something that, because my son's so anxious to get started, he says we have to have one each when we go to the car shows.
Right.
In the next couple of months, I should have that one finished. And,
fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I'd love to do a video of that one too.
That one will be ready. Actually, it might be ready in a couple of weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
So where was that car originally made?
Why was it made?
No, where?
Where? It was made by a company called Hudson. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, and the Essex was I guess one of the brands. Obviously, it didn't last very long due to World War II. It didn't last very long, but it's a unique car. Again, it's one of those things where I've gravitated more into the different. I like cars that are a little bit different.
Unique,
Not so much.
yes.
It's a little bit unique, a little different than your typical Camaro and Chevelle and stuff. So when I saw that one as well too, it was a project that I needed to get my hands on.
Absolutely.
And it's gonna be it's another one of those cars that once you're on the road, you don't see too many around.
No,
and
I
it's gonna
mean
be another
that's the
head-turner
thing.
as
I mean,
well.
you say Essex, and I'm thinking, I think I've seen a picture of it once. I don't think I've ever seen one on the road.
No, okay.
And where did you find that? Here in Canada?
Well, actually, I bought it from a guy in North Bay.
Okay.
But it came out of the U.S. Very clean, solid car.
Right. No tree growing out of it.
No tree going out of that one. And he actually a very good body man. He chopped the roof, chopped it 6 inches, extend the car by 3 inches, and then I pretty much did the rest. Put it on a new custom chassis.
Right.
A brand new crate engine from a company called Blueprint in the U.S. Turbo 400, your typical, your basic drivetrain.
Yeah. Amazing. Now, before you turn it off, I gotta listen to the horn on this thing.
You're gonna just push a little hard because I can't.
This way?
Real hard.
Oh gosh.
I made it tight just in case my son's there.
Right
I
on.
had to make sure it was tight.
Oh yeah. Where is the horn? This side of that? Oh wow. Priceless. Why did I know you just had a fancy horn on this thing, Carlos? It's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. What can I say? Carlos, thank you.
Oh,
I
not a problem.
really appreciate your time today.
Oh, not a problem. It was a pleasure. I enjoy, again, it's one of those things where this is what makes building them.
You just struck your bass there.
Oh, thank you. Fun. I like to see people appreciate them, like to see people enjoy them, because it works both ways.
Absolutely. She's just magnificent. Like everything about this is just an eye-catching car, and definitely worth showing.
Thank you.
Gets a lot of attention, right? So, as you see. Amazing. Carlos, thank you. In today's episode, you're going to get to see an incredible In today's episode, you're going to get to see an incredible rat rod. Hey there. All right, how are you doing? Do you like her?
Of course.
Thank you. Yeah. Check out my channel. If you go on YouTube, it's called Classic Car ChitChat. You'll see this car plus a whole bunch of other cars.
Yeah?
Yep.
Classic Car ChitChat.
Classic Car ChitChat.
All right, cool.
All right. Like and subscribe.
That was in good shape.
Thank you. Take care.